It's Sunday morning. Welcome back to another show with the NBR crew. We have a lot to talk about today. The wild card weekend is well underway. Had some one blowout and one very entertaining game yesterday, which I'm not too happy about because it blew my freaking parlay on day one. But that's cool.
Pretty sure John's not very happy either.
Yeah, I think John's a little more upset.
It blew my bet, and it also blew my hopes and dreams.
What a game! What a game!
Yeah, and this is the same guy that was giving me shots about being a Lions fan before we hit the record button. Nice going there, buddy.
That's okay. It is officially Knicks season.
Misery loves
NC State basketball.
Yeah.
Go Pack. Yeah, go Grizzlies. Why not?
Yeah, Grizzlies, man. Let's go. So before we get started, I'll give my little spiel. I want to thank all our Patreon members. If you're interested in being a Patreon supporter, I believe the links are in the description. If not, just shoot a message over on Messenger and we'll get you hooked up. So wasn't for our Patreon members, we couldn't sit here and do what we do every Sunday morning, which is act like we know anything about sports, but we really don't. That's why we're the Nosebleeds Report.
We got the cheap tickets.
But with the money, I started a nonprofit. So our goal is to send veterans and first responders to sporting events. And I'm not just talking like Little League and stuff. We're talking, I just purchased club seats for the Detroit Lions. I plan on doing something similar in Nashville. So my goal is to start in Detroit and Nashville and then grow from there. Hopefully, maybe one day, I don't know, San Francisco would be kind of cool. That's our old stomping ground. So we'll see where it goes. But we also have football squares out there for the Super Bowl. I want to thank everybody that has participated. I think there's 20 squares left. We're doing really well. What we're doing is we're selling squares for $20 a piece. They will pay out $250 per quarter. So, and then the rest of the money will go into the nonprofit to help pay for tickets. We really appreciate your support. And we feel here at NBR and TSP that our goal is to save lives. There's too many people committing suicide. And the original number the thought was 22 veterans commit suicide every day. But there's a new report out that the VA did, and that number is actually 44 veterans every single day are committing suicide. And it's a damn shame. But if you think about it, if there was 44 oak trees in a forest dying every single day, I think the DNR would jump all over that and fix the problem ASAP. I don't know why veterans are not getting that same care, but it is what it is, and we're here to curb that number. We'll do whatever we can to help out. That said, how's everyone going today?
Very good, very good.
Good.
All right, yeah. So we got a lot to talk about today. I want to start with J.J. Watt. That young man is a generational football player. It'll be a long time before we see the likes of somebody like him again. And he just hung up his cleats for the last time. It was very emotional. He looked up to the stands and made eye contact with his wife. And they were both crying. It was a very touching moment.
The Cardinals put together a little tribute video for him. I don't know if you guys saw that.
I have not.
Had his brothers on there and all the important players he's played against and stuff. It was pretty cool. He was crying during that too.
I think, now that you mentioned that, I think I did see that. Yeah. It's very, very, very emotional. The guy was just a great player, not just a great football player, but man, what a solid human being. When the hurricane that hit southern Texas, he got together and started a fundraiser and just millions and millions of dollars to his community. And that's just one time. He was just always, helping out his community. We just had 10 more football players like him. And what a great place this country would be. So my hat's off.
He actually won Walter Payton Man of the Year for that relief effort. So it's a very prestigious award in the NFL.
Yeah. It's kind of sad to see somebody like that walk away from the game because he was so much fun to watch, man. Even though he wasn't on our teams, but it's just he's just one of those guys that you tune in just to watch.
You schedule around, you plan around.
Yeah.
It's tough too because it makes you realize how old we're getting. So I remember when I came into the league.
Hey, what's your song, man?
He used to be a young guy. Yeah.
Yeah, Badger. He's a Wisconsin Badger.
Yep.
Yeah, he used
Well,
to
he
play
was
in college.
Central
Now we're
Michigan
talking.
first, buddy.
Yeah, that's
Hey,
right.
oh, well,
That's right.
hey, I don't got no alliance to either one of those places.
Yeah, he grew up in Wisconsin. He started his college career at Central Michigan, and then he transferred over to Wisconsin, which I don't blame him. Like if I was from that state and that was my team, I would definitely do everything I could to transfer over. So that kind of stuff in the transfer portal, I'm all for. But when you're transferring for money, man, ruining the game of football. Yeah. The next person I would like to talk about is Damar Hamlin. He was transferred to a hospital in Buffalo, and this week he was released altogether. So, our thoughts and prayers are still with him and his family. Hopefully that he thrives in life. Hopefully he's not crazy enough to put on the uniform again.
I don't think a doctor in the NFL would approve of him to go back to the league.
Let's hope not. But you never know, money talks.
Yeah, but the Bills are paying his full contract out.
Yeah, that's what I heard. That's awesome. I love that they're doing that because they don't have to do that, and they're going to do that. But could you imagine, like the question is he going to show up on the sidelines for this game? Could you imagine that crowd when he shows up wearing his jerseys, just standing there?
Regardless, the Bills won't lose again this year.
Oh, no.
They're not losing. They're not losing.
That's a great point. The Bills are a great football team, and they are amongst the leaders. But after watching the San Francisco 49ers play the other day, holy moly, that is one good football team.
Birdie.
The Lions would have had to play them if they actually made the playoffs. So I'm not entirely mad we didn't get embarrassed.
With the 49ers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the 49ers would have done a heck of a lot better than
Are you been better than the Seahawks?
Correct.
So you're trying to say
The Seahawks didn't look bad in the beginning of the game. They had a couple of nice deep plays down the field. Metcalf was involved.
they had the lead at half, right?
Yeah, that's right. They
By
had
one.
that field goal.
Yeah.
And the 49ers are starting their third string quarterback, and this kid just looks like a freaking Hall of Famer out
He's
there.
Mr. Irrelevant.
What? Yeah.
Second to
Irrelevant.
the last pick in the draft.
Yeah.
Second to the last pick in the draft.
That is crazy. Like, that is shit that dreams are made of.
He had,
same with Tom Brady. He was picked way deep in the draft, and
seventh.
now everybody on the planet knows this guy's name.
Well, it's leading to this mentality of like the draft is, important, but I see people go back and repick the drafts from years ago, and it makes and breaks teams' futures.
Yeah, we know
Just
that all too well
missing.
as being Lions fans.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't you have to bring that up, John?
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm salty today. Everybody's going to have to be in a bad mood.
Hey, the Bears picked Trubisky over Mahomes in their draft one year. So
Yeah.
And Josh Allen, I think.
This is what gives me hope for this year's draft. The Bears snuck into the first overall pick, but I guarantee you they're going to screw this up.
I think they trade out if they're smart, but that's a different conversation.
I say go Lovie Smith. Thank you. Getting us the number one pick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's still a Bears at heart.
The Chargers always have like a middle to late first round pick, and we turned out we're pretty good. So. I'm still solid. We're a solid team, We draft well from the middle of the pack. So
27-0.
yeah, we don't defend the
27-0,
lead
buddy.
well. Yeah.
20. Yeah.
Nice segue because
I
the
put
next
that on
bullet
the
point I
coaster.
have on my list is Chargers versus Jags.
Yeah,
Great job, buddy.
it's a big game. Yeah,
That's worse
Wanna
than
give us crap?
28-3.
Let's talk about this
it
game.
is.
The Chargers went up 27-0 in the first half. 4 interceptions lost the momentum at the end of the first half, let the Jags score a very easy touchdown that just looked like they actually knew what they were doing. I went to bed because it was getting late. I woke up to check my scores, and holy moly, the Jags pulled it off. Blew my freaking parlay and embarrassed the Chargers. No wonder. San Diego's probably like, hell yeah, thank you for leaving.
They only scored the Chargers only scored 3 points in the whole second half. That's
They only had the opportunity for another field. They never really even threatened for a touchdown.
Can't do that in the playoffs.
I mean, there's a lot of just like you could just tell the wind was taken out of the sails, and
if
got cocky, I'm sure.
Oh, I'm sure halftime was a joke.
If Lawrence doesn't throw those 4 interceptions, it's a blowout because even the first half, they couldn't really move the ball all that well. There was plenty of times where they should have scored another touchdown. And
Asante Samuel had 3 of those interceptions too. So.
Yeah.
So I wasn't, when I went to bed, I was not sold on the Chargers at all.
The momentum wasn't. It was a momentum thing. It was like the momentum was shifted, and once it was like a snowball. Once it started rolling, it got out of control, and there's nothing that our team could do about it at that point. The Jags were in control of that game, and they did what they wanted. They stopped us when they needed to, and they got first downs and just drove down the field. It wasn't anything crazy, but they would have a wide open receiver 22 yards down the field, and you just tell their game plan. They were cool, calm, and collective throughout the whole thing, even 4 interceptions later. So
Savannah's chiming in, saying, "What up?" The next thing I have on my list is Jamal Williams. This young man comes out and he breaks Barry Sanders' TD record. Just had one hell of a year. He gets fined for a celebration. Earlier in the year, he gets fined for the same exact celebration. It was $13,000. The last game of the year, at Green Bay, he scores a touchdown and he does his little dance again. He gets nailed for another $18,000, which I'm not really sure why the NFL is hitting him for this. Is it because it's a hip gyrate? Like I don't really understand, because there's plenty of dances in the end zone that doesn't get punished. But for some reason, the NFL's like, no, don't do that anymore. We're going to charge $18,000.
Well, the best part is they told him not to do it, and he did it anyways.
Yeah. So I guarantee you, if I'm an NFL player and it's the last game of the year, and I just beat our arch nemesis and I score a touchdown, I'm doing the dance too.
Well, right, and you just broke the record of the best running back of all time.
I feel like they always get.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I feel like they always get mad at whoever's like the leading rusher that year, and they always tell him that he can't do something. Or they did the same thing with Cam Newton when he was giving the balls away after his big year. And that's just what I could think of off the top of the head. But
and
so
I mean that's. Oh,
go ahead. I was gonna say I think he's been doing the dance all year. He got fined the first time, and I don't know if it was based off the skit that he was doing, but he said like if after the first fine he went down and he stopped doing as many like actual like hip thrusts or whatever. He kept it to below 2, and he even said that in an after game interview. And he was good for a while until the Green Bay game, because he's done it after every one, I think.
Yeah,
he's done it after every touchdown he scored.
Yeah, the maybe 3 is 2 is okay.
He's like, I kept it under 2, so I don't know if he went a little wild after getting the record or what, but
yeah, how can you not celebrate that, man? Barry Sanders, of all people, you just broke Barry Sanders' record. Man, dent your heart out, buddy.
And I mean, that's just his character. Like, he's a fun guy. He's always, I mean, look at him in warm-ups. He's dancing, he's singing, he's throwing the ball with the fans. I mean, this dude just goes out there and has fun. Let him be.
Yeah.
Lions season may be over, but one member of the Lions offense hit some huge milestones in the final game of this season. Jamal Williams eclipsed the 1,000 yards rushing in a single season for the first time of his career. He also ran in 2 touchdowns, giving him 17 rushing touchdowns on the season, breaking Barry Sanders' single-season Lions record set in 1991.
Yeah, get it, son.
Not only is Williams proud of his accomplishments, so is the rest of his team.
the crazy part is, like, I write goals for myself every year, and this year I've hit a lot of them. I look at my goal list now and check, and I got one on there that I didn't even, the rushing record is a check that I didn't even have on my goal list. I'm just blessed for it. It makes me even more hungry.
Everybody's happy for Jamal, because I can tell you this, offensively, all those guys, the fact that he got 1,000 yards and he beat Barry's record or surpassed it means a lot to that offensive line, the tight end, everybody involved in that run game. Hell, the receivers have a hand in it, but everybody to a man they're excited for Jamal.
But now the big question, will the Lions re-sign Williams, who is now a free agent?
Yeah, that's the big question. Are the Lions going to sign him? Hopefully. Let's go. And what are they going to do with Swift?
Yeah, we gotta protect Williams at all costs.
Yeah. He is, like you said earlier, he is definitely a national treasure, man.
That kid is and he's a good guy. Like, he's such a good guy.
Yeah, and I love the way he dresses.
Yeah, he's an absolute clown.
There's a Pokemon hat he just had on.
Well,
you love to have that in your locker room, don't you?
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there was an interview last week where one of the Detroit reporters mispronounced Pokemon, and he Jamal Williams got all upset and corrected him. It was quite funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was good.
Yeah.
All right. Now it's time for our little segment called Paulie's Corner. Are you ready there, buddy?
Bring it on. Alabama, I'm sorry, guys. You know what I got? I got a rant about Alabama fans. You know what, people? Get rid of your stupid minds on Facebook and have some damn class. Good morning, everybody out there. I hope you had your muffin and your coffee. It's time to break out that popcorn. But before I get started, we're at the in-laws in the city, and I just noticed my father-in-law, Joe, they call him Chicago Joe. He's the biggest Chicago sports fan that's ever lived, and to prove it, here's his name, Chicago Joe. Anyways, all right, let's get down to some business here. Today I'm going to talk about Quay Walker, number 7 from the Packers. This guy was fined $13,000-something by the NFL. This is his second ejection of the season. The kid has got maturity issues, emotional issues, you name it. He got fined. He got ejected by pushing a Buffalo Bills player that wasn't even in uniform earlier in the season. So in the fourth quarter, running back Deion Swift goes down on a 2-yard run. All right, he gets hurt. The training staff rushes out to the field to attend to him. Standing in the area there was number 7. I'm only going to refer to this guy as number 7 at this point because I'm sick of talking. I'm sick of his name. So number 7 standing there, and the trainer kind of bumps into him a little bit to attend to Swift on the ground. And what does Swift do? Boom! He pushes the trainer. On TV, we're like, what? What is going on here? There's no words for this clown, It really isn't. The Packers coach LaFleur says, well, that's unacceptable behavior and does not meet the standards of the Green Bay Packers. What? That's it? That's all you got for that? This number 7 POS has no business being in the NFL, all right? No business. You want to shove the smallest guy on the field, all right? Smaller than me, probably. You want to shove him. He's the guy that makes the least amount of money. He's out there trying to attend to a player that's hurt, and you're going to shove him. Why? I don't give a blah, blah about your emotional state. You messed up. You messed up by doing that. That was ridiculous. You want to do that kind of stuff? You know what? Go take that stuff to the CFL. You don't belong on the field. Unacceptable. And if I were a Packers fan, which, by the way, no way in blah, blah, blah would I ever be a Packers fan. I would take that guy, Quay. I messed up. Number 7. I don't want to say his name. He doesn't even deserve that. I would take number 7's contract, and I would rip it up. And I would get this kid out of the NFL. And you know what? I wouldn't even send him to the CFL. I'd send him to the semi-pros on a weekend football league. I'm done.
Hey, Paulie went all Nancy Pelosi, man. Yeah, that was bad. So what really made it really look bad, I mean, it's bad enough anyways. You have a medical staff out there tending to a hurt player, and you're going to push the medical staff out of the way. And this is just like a week after the Hamlin incident.
Yep.
That is just like, I agree with Paulie. Like, if I'm the head coach, beat it. And this kid is, and that I believe he was just a rookie too.
He's a rookie out of Georgia.
A rookie. Get the hell out of the league, man.
You're in full pads and you're pushing a medical professional that's, number one, not in pads, number 2, out there that's not even a player. It's someone attending to someone who's hurt. So not only you push this dude, but now the hurt player has to sit there even longer.
Exactly. What would have happened if they would have pushed the Hamlin's team out of the way? Like, just was seconds. You need every second is life or death. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
You get
What a clown,
Paulie. Hey, and you know what? You know what? Some of these players are considered role models. Are you freaking kidding me? Really? Yeah. Number 7. Pack your bags. You're out of here. I'm done. Sorry.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. There's no room for that in the NFL, or there's no room for that in life. You walk up to a EMT that's on the street saving somebody's life and push them out of the way and see what that gets you. All right. On to Carlos Correa. Eric, this is all you, buddy.
Yeah, so from one clown to another. Last year, Carlos Correa signed a 3-year, $105 million deal with the Twins. You know, that propels them into World Series contender, I would argue, right before the season.
Sure.
Twins end up going 78 and 84 and finishing 3rd in probably the weakest division in baseball, I would say. So there was an opt-out offer in Correa's deal, so he opted out. As he opted out, the Twins offered him $285 million for the next 10 years. He declined that, signed with the Giants for $350 million for a 13-year deal, which is what these guys want. These guys want over 10 years, and they want their money all up front, which I get. Great. He fails the physical. The Giants balk and let him go. The Mets signed him that very next day for 12 years, $315 million. They're going to move him to 3rd, let Lindor plays shortstop, he plays 3rd. The same doctor who performed that physical with the Giants did the Mets physical. Failed him again. The Mets balk. So now the Twins signed him to a 6-year, $200 million deal, and it's just a huge carousel. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on with this dude, but he walked away from, at least $85 million and 4 more years of contracted baseball because he was clowning around with these, trying to get better deals.
I don't see him making it 6 years. It's his physical is that ankle.
And there's a rod in that ankle.
Yeah, they didn't let it rest enough in Houston, and it's coming back to bite him now.
Yep. Yeah, he walked away from at least.
From the same team that he ended up signing with.
Yep.
So,
hey, you know what? The soup ain't done. That's all I can say on that.
Yeah.
Yep. And you created a lot of drama. There was a lot of drama.
And nobody wants you there.
Yep.
Why would you even sign him for 6 years after he failed his physical multiple times and you just know his character? Like,
they already knew about that. I'm pretty sure the Twins, because this is an existing thing from when he was with Houston. So I'm pretty sure they had swallowed that pill.
Yeah, and this is his second go-around with contract negotiations with Houston.
Yeah.
It's almost a desperate situation for both positions. Like the Twins are, like you said, Eric, they're supposed to be contenders, and I feel like the more moves they make, the deeper they sink.
Yeah.
And so they're kind of scratching here for something, and I think this is going to be Carlos Correa's last contract. If that ankle is that bad, I've never heard of that before. Of signing a contract and two separate teams are like, nah.
I mean, to be fair, it was the same doctor, but
yeah, but it doesn't matter. He's a doctor, it's not like he's making this stuff up. Like he's like, this is the problem. You tell me, and they're like, no.
12 months ago, there was a lot of talk in Detroit that the Tigers were going to bring him on. I am so glad that ship sailed.
Even last year, I was mad. I think I was on this podcast talking to you guys last year about wanting Correa over Baez.
Yeah.
And it's a blessing in disguise.
Yeah.
Because he would have opted out with us, too.
Don't get me wrong. He could go have 110, 115 RBIs this next season, but that ankle is not going to hold up.
Man, he misses time every year.
Every year. Mm-hmm.
Every year he misses time. And he had a nice year last year. He, 291 batting average, 64 RBIs, and 22 home runs. Like
he's a good ball player, but his body is not holding up, and it happens. He got his money. He's going to be at the end of it. He's going to be happy he got that.
Right, and I mean that stat line isn't a $200 million stat line.
No, yeah, that's what I mean too. He was asking for a lot.
Yeah,
but he knew this is it. It's now or never. Because if next year that ankle collapses, then he won't get another contract.
Right.
And he's got it up on the DL.
Mm-hmm.
Eric, you said something interesting. We've been doing this show for over a year now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we started the first thing we did was pick Georgia for their first national championship.
Yeah, wow. Time's flying. Wow.
Yeah, look where we are today.
Yeah.
We got it. We even have a segment called Polly's Corner now.
I think that happened by accident.
Hey, before we move on to the NBA, I just want to mention that the pitchers and catchers are a couple of weeks away from showing up. If you're a baseball fan, you know what kind of that is just a magical time of year, man. I just love.
It's the best time of year.
Yeah, I love it. I love spring training. My wife and I went to a game a couple of years ago down in Lakeland, Florida. We were in town. Well, actually, it was more than that. It was probably 10 years ago now, but it was awesome. My goal is always to go down there for a game, but for some reason, it's hard to get away this time of year because, for one, my wife and I always go to the Caribbean this time of year. But
that's the way to do it. If I were to recommend to anybody, baseball game is great, but spring training, there's awesome. Nothing like if you're a real baseball fan, go to spring training and watch your team play there.
And I got to watch Cubs in Mesa, Arizona one year at a spring training game. It was a cool environment. Yeah, really great environment.
The thing about it is the players and the managers and coaches, it's a different ball game than when they're playing regular season games. They will interact with the fans. You can go out there, any autograph that you want, and they're happy to do it. They're just signing away.
They walk right by you. They warm up on this little field next to the stadium, and then they walk in.
It's an awesome environment. It's great. I highly suggest.
Yeah, I loved it. We went in 2009 after they won in Tampa.
Spring game.
It's awesome.
All right, who wants to talk about the NBA? Jay, this is you.
Okay.
Luka?
Yeah, I mean, there's Nikola Jokic is making another case for another MVP. The Nuggets are the best team in the West, which is a very loaded West. So that's impressive. The Grizzlies have climbed up to number 2 in the West.
Yeah.
Grizzlies are good, man.
Yeah, John Morant's been making some new posters.
Anybody but the Lakers.
Yeah, the Lakers are not great right now. So
no, LeBron's having a good year.
Anybody but LeBron.
He's having a great year
in the West right now. So
yeah.
So
no bueno.
There's always the hot debate who the GOAT is, Michael or LeBron.
Oh, come on now. It's MJ.
Why are we starting this again?
Yeah, here we go.
Michael played with the flu. LeBron gets a hangnail and sits out for a week.
No comparison.
None.
The NBA MVP trophy is called the Michael Jordan Trophy. I mean, so mic drop right there. We're done.
I mean, you can't really name it after a player that's
still playing. Yeah. He's played for 20 years.
Yeah, in like
And he's-
25, 30 years, it might be called the LeBron James Trophy.
He's got all the rings. He's got all the accolades.
LeBron's got plenty of rings.
I mean, but
yeah,
if
I know, but you know what? MJ did it in a shorter period of time.
What, 11?
Yeah, I think that's to LeBron's argument. He did it for a longer period of time. It's harder to do it over a longer period of time.
And he still hasn't caught up to MJ.
He's bypassed MJ.
It's a much
on every list.
I don't think you can compare any of them, but hey, you guys are going to go at it regardless.
I'm telling you, man. LeBron, it's especially in 398 points when he passes Kareem.
Well, okay, so I'm not a basketball expert, but I've listened to basketball experts, and like Shaq and all these other guys, they refer to MJ as the GOAT. So you tell me.
I've heard otherwise.
They played with.
I've heard a lot
Shaq
otherwise.
played with.
And a lot of them now are changing their mind now that he's passing Kareem. I mean, you can't argue it. You can't.
Well, come on.
He's the best on every list.
You put prime MJ and prime LeBron in the game 1v1. I think LeBron comes out on top.
No way.
LeBron is much bigger, much stronger.
LeBron is faster.
6'9", 250 pounds. That man.
He's a better shooter.
Taking it to the rim every time.
But LeBron is such a big baby.
I don't know. So I'm not, okay. Well, I mean, look at it. Michael played on the Bulls, and he had three repeats.
Yeah.
And LeBron, at any given year, I don't know what team he's playing on. So it's like he's got to bounce around because he's got to find the right nucleus to win.
Jackson.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
coach the team.
MJ stayed on one team and he did it twice, three-peats, and so he didn't have. He took players that were around him and made them better. Whereas LeBron seems like he goes to these teams that already got the stupid.
If they don't bring Scotty in, then he doesn't win a single ring.
I don't know, guys. Oh, all right, we're gonna agree to disagree. It's all good. Yeah. It's part of this.
That's what I told you, John. You're gonna, no matter what you say, Michael's the GOAT to me.
That's fine. That's completely fine.
Well, all due respect.
I respect it. That's totally cool. That's why it's a great argument.
Well, what team is LeBron on this year? Because I can't keep up.
He's on
the team that he's won he's won a championship for 3 different teams.
Yeah, but they were all all-star players around him when he went to the team.
And one was in a
team in Cleveland.
Not really Cleveland.
The team that he took to Cleveland. He took teams to finals. I could have been on that team.
Well, John, all due respect, you're more of a basketball guy than I am. I'm just kind of I'm a layman, in the basketball business, so I'm biased, I guess. I'm biased.
I love the argument. I always hear things that make you think about it.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That's the fun part about it. So
yeah.
If everybody agreed on it, then
it would be no fun.
Exactly. So
yeah.
And yeah, you have completely good reasons. I mean, you saw Michael through his whole career. So
yeah,
it makes a big difference.
I'm gonna tell you guys, early '90s Michael, there'll never be nothing like that again. That dude was stone cold.
When did he win his first championship? 93?
92,
92. I think 92. Yeah.
Yeah, 92, 93, 94. And then he repeated, 97, 98, something like that. Repeat again.
I think it was 96, 97, 98, right?
It is over. Here's the real GOAT.
Snoop. He is the GOAT. How old is Snoop?
I'm a big Snoop Dogg fan, though. That guy's awesome.
How old is he?
And he's a great Pittsburgh Steelers fan, too.
His nature documentary things are hilarious.
Oh, my God. Those are brilliant.
And he's a Steelers fan.
He's a Los Angeles fan and everything else. I know he's a big Lakers fan.
What is this? Scott Birmingham says
51.
MJ all the way.
Yes.
MJ all the way from one of our audience members, Scott Birmingham.
Yeah, he's one of our biggest fans too, by the way. Scott, thanks for always tuning in and supporting the channel. We really appreciate you, buddy.
We'll bring that LeBron knowledge up for you.
All right, we're going to cut it off.
Yeah, another LeBron montage.
Before we shut it down, I just want to remind everybody, hey, go buy your Super Bowl square. You're going to help send
quick.
first responder to a sporting event. I already have a couple guys that I'm going to hook up. Eric and his brother are going to the Chicago Cubs home opener. Paulie and his Iron Man buddy, He is going to the Detroit-Chicago Bears game in Detroit, Michigan. So we appreciate you guys tuning in and listen to us run our source for a half hour, 45 minutes, and it's for a good cause. Somebody's talking.
Hey, and I want to say thank you, Rich, for all you're doing to orchestrate this, and Eric, you did with the squares you hustled, and you got a really good job, guys. I just want to say that.
Yeah, for sure.
It's definitely a team event here. We couldn't do it all by ourselves, so I appreciate you guys jumping on this. You know, when I first came up with this idea, every single one of you guys were like, "Hell yeah, let's do it." I appreciate the support from everybody, and you know, we definitely appreciate everybody. Appreciate you listening, appreciating donating money, and you know, the whole works, man. It's a good cause.
Absolutely, it's a great cause.
Yeah, we got to knock that 44 number down to 0.
Hey, the greatest gift you can give is the gift of giving.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
And by the way, I'm not doing this so I could go to games for free. I'm not going to these games. These are completely. I'm sending these tickets to the veterans and first responders. I'll probably go to one game, you know, in Detroit.
But you're a veteran.
Yeah, but I'm not. But my point is, I'm not doing it for me. Trust me. I've heard people say I'm not donating money so you could go to football games. Listen, I'm not going to these games.
Hey, you know what? I could validate that because me and the Iron Man, Jim Blaze, are going to the game, and guess what, folks? We got to pay to go to that game. So we're not doing, and that money that we're paying to go to the game goes back into the charity. So, yeah, we're not here to get any goodies for ourselves. This is all about other people that we would like to help out, and you know, the gift of giving is the best thing you could do, in my opinion.
Yeah, for sure.
For the soul.
Yeah, we're here to lift people up.
Without sounding self-servient, please.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we're not here to pat ourselves on the back or anything. We're here to save lives. That's the bottom line right there. Yeah. All right, guys. This is probably our longest show, and it was actually a very informative one.
Good one.
Yeah, I feel good about this one. So appreciate our listeners, everybody again, and we'll see you guys next Sunday. And make sure you watch TSP tonight at 7 p.m. Man, I got have a good one. And then next Sunday, I have an officer Navy SEAL. Great story, man.
On TSP.
That's on TSP, yes. At Sundays at 1900s. It's another good one. So there you go, Jay. And we definitely thank you for your support on that show also.
Oh, yeah.
All right. If you guys have anything for us, hit us up on social media. Other than that, see you guys next Sunday.
Peace out.
Have a good week, everyone.